Hello, guys, welcome back to Mina's Corner. It's been a minute. I know life has been life and it's not been easy with a new baby. Anyways, I'm here with another recipe. This is a donut recipe and it's actually very nice. It's homely, it's wonderful anyway. So let's dive right into the recipe. Thank you for everybody who actually reached out to me. I really appreciate it. Now back to the recipe. I actually put my yeast in warm water. It's actually a dried yeast, but I wanted to be sure that it's active. So I put 1 teaspoon of yeast in the water, and then once it's proved, I added a tablespoon of granite oil or vegetable oil, and then I added about four tablespoons of sugar, a pinch of salt, and 1 egg. If you don't like egg, or if you don't like the smell or the taste of egg in your pastries, you can omit egg and you can add milk, liquid milk or powdered milk, whichever is fine. So you stir everything or you whisk it up, and then you add about 4 cups of flour, just like so. I'll add 4 cups of flour, and I'll add about 1 cup or 1.25 cup of water to this. You can add warm milk rather than, or to replace water. You can add warm milk to replace water if you have. But if you don't have milk, you can use water, just like what I did. And for the water, I did not add it all up at once. I added it in little portions, just so that I don't get a very light consistency. So yeah, but the measurement for the water is about 1 cup or 1.25 cup. Yeah, so you want to add the water all up slowly and just use your hands to mix this together. But if you have a stand mixer, you can use that as well. So you want to make sure that you mix this very properly. And once I mix it a bit in the bowl, I would turn it out to my work surface, that's the counter, so that I can mix it up very well. Don't worry about how it looks right now. It will all come together once you keep mixing it. So you mix it up until you can get this dough, or what you see on the video. You want to keep kneading this. You have to knead very well so that it can develop some gluten in it. You want to mix this, or you want to keep kneading this. You can also just keep hitting it over the surface or the countertop until you get a smooth dough. And how can you check if your dough is smooth? You can just poke it with your finger, and once it bounces back up, you know that it is smooth. If your dough is difficult to work with, you can leave it for a few minutes on the countertop. It gets better after a while. So yeah, just like that, once you press it in, it bounces back up. So I'm going to divide this dough into 2 parts, and I want to keep 1 part of it in the freezer, so that whenever I want to make some more donuts, I can just bring it out of the freezer. And yeah, so I recently found out that you don't have to cover your dough to rise a first time. You can just knead this, cut them into the sizes that you want, and then you can leave it to proof just once. So yeah, and it works fine. It works really well. You don't have to leave it to proof and then come back to allow it proof a second time, although you can also use that method. I use that method, but if you don't have time, this method works fine as well. So as you can see, I did not prove it the first time. I just went directly to cutting them into balls and just pinching them to form a round ball. Yeah, just like so. I hit it on the countertop to actually let out any air that's trapped in it, because you don't want to cut into your donut or your bread, because this is the same process for bread as well, and you find a big hole in it. So you want to hit it on the countertop for the air that is trapped in it to go out, and then you want to closely tight this. You want to tight this closely, and so that's how you just do it. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to cover it up and allow it to proof for about 1 hour, and then I would come back. Yeah, so guys, if you want your donut to come out very well, you need to put it in a foil paper or a parchment paper. And before you put it on a parchment paper, you want to make sure to put some flour on the parchment paper or on the foil paper. If you don't do this, it will stick to the foil paper and you won't be able to take it out of it. And if you try to force it, it will deflate the dough. So you must ensure that you put this on a parchment paper that is floured. Okay, yeah, so at this point the dough has risen and I'm just going to fry it in some oil. You want to make sure that your oil is not too hot. You want to put your stove in the medium heat and ensure that the oil is not too hot. If it's too hot, the dough does not get enough time to expand, which gives it the beautiful look that you need and makes it fluffy. It just cooks really fast. So you want to make sure that the fire or the heat is not too much. And yes, once I'm done, I'm going to rub on some sugar. You can add cinnamon to this sugar, and you can do whatever it is you like. You can use milk, like the recent one that I see all over the internet. You can put milk all over the body. You can even just leave it like that. It just depends on what your preference is. You can do some the milk filling that is trending. You can use jam, you can use chocolate, you can use what's the other popular one, caramel. Yeah, so you can just do whatever it is that you want. And this donut came out pretty good. I hope you would give this recipe a try, and I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you so much. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Bye.